Welcome to my Wings of Liberty ladder games, where normally I would say that compared to all the cheesers and one-base tryhards, we're hardly trying. And that's actually true in this game. Now, I thought it would be different because I've been running into so many Zerg versus Zergs lately, and I feel like every time there's a ZVZ, somewhere in the world a puppy gets cancer. And the reason I say that is because Zerg versus Zerg is just about when someone decides to make Zerglings. And after that, the Newton laws apply where someone who makes Zerglings will keep making Zerglings unless acted on by a large number of losses against Grandmasters, who actually knows how to hold that shit off. So right now we do have a Zerg versus Protoss, which is an interesting matchup in my opinion because of the fact that I normally play random. What that means is that I normally don't get a lot of practice because the Protoss is forced to wall up the main with his gateway, in case that was the other two races. But in this case, I did say that I am going for Zerg, so he will know that I have Zerg, so he's free to do his Forge Fast Expand. Which will mean that I'm playing a matchup that I'm not really used to, so we'll see how that turns out. I still have faith in my ability to play this matchup because Zerg versus Protoss is very, very macro-oriented, which is the style that I like. Now what I mean by that is, of course, Zerg versus Protoss relies either on the composition of Roach Hydra or Ling Muta, two of which will usually mean Protoss is Forge Fast Expanding. And usually in the standard, Zerg will take a third in response to a Forge Fast Expand. Now in the other matchup, Protoss is forced on one base, which gives them the ability to put on pressure. And in that case, you're kind of stuck going for two bases, which kind of limits yourself to Ling Muta. And we'll see if this can actually play a large role. He decides not to be a douchebag with the pylon, and it seems like he's actually chosen to go for a one base play as opposed to the standard. I don't actually understand this, because what can you do here? Well, he went for Forge first, and this looks like a cannon rush. It's like trash. I love how all the players right now are choosing trash as opposed to standard play. Okay, so I don't want that retard magnet pylon. They managed to trap the probe, that's good. Let's look to a second pylon so we can go back to work now. I feel like I pulled out a way bigger retard train than it should have. But you can't really be too safe. The reason I get a double hatch first is because I can force this kind of bullshit, and also because I can get away with getting double queens. Queens are good for defense. It also establishes my natural very, very well. Now I did leave the drone over there in the natural because I feel like, well, this is a cannon rush. So let's pull this shit. See, that's why I left the drone in the middle, because I feel like he's gonna cannon rush. And that's gonna, like this is allowing me to pull my drones just a little bit earlier. See, 3 drones is a good number for any cannon rush. It can take down a cannon faster than it can actually build. And I feel like after this, my drones will be in time. We'll do an extractor trick for the queen to come out. And this should be the end of this cannon garbage. He did force 6 Zerglings, but at what cost? He did put down two pylons, and I don't know how many cannons I actually killed. I do not remember seeing a cancel on any of those cannons, so all that resource loss will add up. And I feel like I'm actually playing at a position where I'm ahead right now. So just consider what we're doing right now. We are a 2-base Zerg against a 1-base Protoss, as far as I can tell. And he's lost a lot. I mean, yeah, I didn't handle that in the absolute best manner possible, but I did handle it in a, I would say, sufficient manner for me to say that I am ahead right now. So in terms of what he can do to catch up right now, I'm thinking either Dark Templar, Stargate play, or, well, something else. We'll see if he has an expansion, because that will influence our decisions very, very much. It seems like a lot of cannons, and of course, an expand, so lots of resources wasted on a failed cannon rush, and also lots of resources wasted on a cannon. So what I can conclude right now is I don't need Zergling speed, because he's turtle up, without the ability to put on pressure, so we can safely tech up and work towards Mutalisks. Although the supply block is actually kind of obnoxious. So we will deal with that in the appropriate manner by not caring. Now lair is on the way, which is nice. Gonna work on economy. Got the map vision that we want. Zerglings are making sure he doesn't have any hidden expands. Let's get this drone back to work. And we'll work on the gas for now. Work on this. We're not missing overlords anytime soon. I do like to know what he's going, by the way. But I feel like that's something we can't afford right now. We're just working on drones, getting the drones up as much as we can, and then we are going to get the Spire. Now, Spire is a good choice in this case because he's on 2 bases, he's low on economy, and even though it is easier for him to defend the Mutalisks on 2 bases as opposed to 3, I feel like he just doesn't have the unit count. So let's start mining gas off of this as well. Saturation in the main looks not too terrible. We'll rally our units here. Do that. I do like to put a few extra drones on my main, just because it makes it easier to even out the saturation when I decide to build buildings. I know it's a little bit inefficient, but really, who cares? We're not playing at a Grandmaster level, because the Grandmaster will handle that cannon rush very differently. Probably having a lot more minerals than I do at the end. So we got that. Potentially made too many overlords. Yeah, I did make too many overlords. A lot. Too many overlords. Okay, so what we want now is probably save up minerals for the mutas. I would like an evo chamber, but I feel like it's just a little bit too much. I like to get that first wave of mutas, as many mutas as possible, so that I can put on the pressure. And we can work on upgrades after that. See, I'm actually short a lot of minerals right now. We got 500, and we could get 3 more mutas. I feel like I'll wait for all the mutas are before all the mutas are done before I move out, because it's just a little bit better that way. Alright, so the mutas are done, and we should get the evo chamber right now for Zerglings, because while most of our gas is dumped into Mutalisks, we will have something to dump all the minerals in. And for that I'm choosing Zerglings, because Zerglings only cost minerals. And with that, the Mutalisks should be putting on the pressure. I don't understand if he will be putting the cannons in his main or not. I would assume so, because really, what can you expect the Zerg to do at this point? Although maybe we'll get lucky and he doesn't have cannons here. Managed to kill a few probes. Okay, so I feel like that evened out the score just a little bit from the garbage that we saw at the beginning of the game. We'll do this, we'll do this. Now our main priority with the Mutalisks is of course to keep his units in his base for as long as possible. I'll be taking my 3rd as well, just cause I can, and in terms of tech, I don't know what he's doing, so I'll get that Overseer in case he's getting Dark Templars, because, you know, new players tend to like going for Dark Templars. That, get this. I will do a little fly into his base and see whether or not he's going for that kind of tech. Looks like Twilight Council, so of course either Blink or Dark Templars. Seems like he chose to go for a lot of cannons. That is quite a lot of cannons. Which means we should be safe to assume that he doesn't have a lot of units, because those cannons do cost a lot of resources. I know my mutas are getting shot. And he's got the council, so he's probably getting Blink at this point. Which means he will be able to catch up to the mutas, but that doesn't really say anything else. Okay, let's get another evo chamber for the upgrades and also the infestation pit. Okay, so right now we have the resource to build up a large force of mutas, so I'm gonna go ahead and do that. Also work on saturation. So the good thing about mutas is with the mutas on the field, he should think twice before trying to move out with, well, anything. So we're going to keep him on 2 base while we try to saturate our bases ourselves. Very standard play. Well, with a very mobile army. Alright, so I think I actually have the mute account to deal some damage right now. So saturation looks good. I think I'm actually able to take on some stalkers at this point. If I attack at this angle, then I should be able to, number 1, unpower the gateways, and number 2, retreat should the stalkers come in to defend. Oh, he only has 4. Okay, that's a lot more stalkers than I like to play around with. But right now he is Artosis pyloned, because, well, all his pylons just went down. So we won't see any stalker reinforcements for a while. But his main is cannon up right pretty well. So that's a little bit of a problem we have. We'll get this, and we'll also get the carapace upgrade. Of course, getting 9, getting +2 attack for mutas as well. Let's see what we can deal in terms of damage here. Like anything we can smash is good. Alright, we'll just keep making mutas at this point. Actually take another base right now. Because right now we're keeping him on 2, and I feel like if we can get the good unit counts, then we should be fine. He's making a lot of stalkers right now, which means that he doesn't have the Vespine gas to go for any tech. Although that doesn't mean we should get careless, so he does have Twilight Council, which means he will have the capacity for making Dark Templars. So that's why I'm putting down a static defense right now. Static defense is not good because, well, they don't move. Well, in the Zerg case, they sort of do. But mostly they don't move. So that's kind of a pain, and it's very hard to get them where you want them. But I think dealing with Dark Templar, static defense will work. See, how many stalkers is he up to? He's at +1 attack. I might actually get a second Spire just for the additional upgrades. Now this is a large clump of muta, so I should be able to... Oh, that's lots of cannons. I think maybe at this point I should work towards other tech as well. So let's get Roach Warren and Hydralisk then. I'm still considering how... he can't really do much on 2 bases. So I'm feeling content just keeping him on 2 bases at this point. I mean, what's he gonna move out with? A bunch of stalkers? How many stalkers can he make on 2 bases? Okay, so he still doesn't have a 3rd right now. Main is cannon upright pretty well, I'd say. Hive is almost done, and I feel like at that point we should make Broodlords, and it'll be a very easy win for us. I know I'm taking a lot longer on this than I should, but can't really be too safe. Well, he's moving out! He's trying to take an expansion at this point, I would say. And that's basically when I feel like I'm going to have the advantage. Oh, he's got High Templar, shit! I did not expect that. Well, I kinda did. I need to magic box that. Okay, so we're pulling back right now because we kind of have to. And right now we do have Curepotters. Curepotters. Okay, so the Curepotters story is basically someone on the internet actually went and said Curepotters, and then we thought it was hilarious, so we started calling those things Curepotters. Come on, Greater Spire, we need you to be done so I can make stuff. And let's just throw the Zerglings away because we need supply. Archons. You know what I noticed? The fact that he lost all his stalkers. So let's just go ahead and smash it and piss off the Archons at this point. Everything the Archon touches dies! Except the Archons don't really touch anything. So let's go ahead and smash that up. I think Hydralisk Den is good. Alright, so we got this on the way now. Let's see what he's got to deal with Broodlords, because I feel like this is going to make him go back to his base. Now the Broodlords are in a good position to attack, to defend the base should it come down to that. Okay, all units back. Even the scouting ones. Because I feel like right now he won't have a lot of units. Oh shit! Is there... It's a retard magnet! The pylons are acting as a retard magnet! Holy shit, all my units... What? What? What is happening? The base was acting as a retard magnet. Okay, do we have an army? What do we have? We have one muta. What exactly were we doing this whole time? It's okay. I think we're still in this game because he's on 2 bases this whole time. And right now he's down to 1 Archon with +2. And I basically annihilated his whole army at this point. Okay, so that was not something that I expected, but whatever. I did not expect that. Well, at least we got a large Roach Hydra army right now, which we can use to melt just about anything he can throw at us. I mean, what's he gonna do? Have something off one base? I feel like right now the best thing we can do is just to keep his expansion count down. Which is sort of our original plan to begin with. Alright, so I messed up, okay? I messed up a little bit. But we're still fine. We got a good bank. We're moving out with a lot of units. And this should still be our game. No Roach speed, that'll probably suck. He does have High Templar tech, so he can storm, although he's choosing Archons right now. Oh. Still on 2 base. Yeah, he's not gonna be able to hold this. He needs those probes. I mean, yeah, I know what he's trying to do right now. He's trying to distract me long enough for the High Templar to get the energy out. Or he's just gonna leave. That works too. I still can't believe I lost all those Broodlords.